Ladies, we are here tonight. We are going to talk about some news, and then we'll do dynamite recap here tonight on a Thursday. So the biggest thing right now is that some of the women were taken off TV on Monday Night Raw. Damage Control was going to do a segment backstage, and they took them off. And that appears to be something, that's been happening more and more and more. Obviously, Vince McMahon, he's not in the shows, but the reports are Triple H and the producers and writers like the show, and then they send it to Vince McMahon, and then Vince McMahon, he looks at it, and if he wants to make changes, he makes changes. And so that's, I believe, what's going on. A lot of stuff is getting written, and a lot of the wrestlers are being told, and then once Vince McMahon gets the script, he changes a lot of stuff. And so I guess it's not happening as much, because he's not there in person, but he's still virtually getting sent a script and still making changes. So apparently that's something that's starting to frustrate a lot of the wrestlers, especially the women. They're not getting as much TV time anymore. And a lot of segments are being switched like very, very late in the show or very late before the show starts. So at least it's with what that one, there was supposed to be a damage control segment, and did not happen backstage. Mercedes Moné says she, even though there was reports that her New Japan contract was only for 3 matches and it's going to expire soon, she said she expects to resign. She said, no one knows the story, only me. Don't believe anybody. I'm the only one that knows what's going on. I still plan to wrestle for New Japan. She said, I'm not going to stop until I'm at the level of like The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin. I'm not going to stop this. I want to be the woman version of them. So there's that. Adam Hangman Page is negotiating a contract extension with AEW. So a lot of the wrestlers, like their contracts are upcoming either this year or next year. But Adam Page scheduled to re-sign with the plan is he re-signs with AEW. Stone Cold Steve Austin was they're saying now the reason he was not able to be at WrestleMania was because he's doing a show, America something, and he said it just was going to interfere too much with my schedule, and especially trying to get myself into shape to have a match at WrestleMania. So that was one of the reasons he said he didn't do a WrestleMania match this year because he had other stuff going around, just like The Rock, I guess. Warner Bros. They said they are interested in Warner Bros. Is the one that owns TBS and TNT, which is the home for AEW, Dynamite, and Rampage. They said they are interested in negotiating with WWE and potentially doing a partnership with them as they know their TV contracts are coming up. So how would that work? Well, I guess it could work if they get SmackDown on Warner Bros. Ooh, and I know there's been talks about how WWE. I think they talked with Evander about how they want to make possibly the last hour of Raw more edgier, maybe more like towards more adults. So if they go to Warner Bros, they're definitely gonna be able to do more shit. If they're able to put like Raw on USA Network, and maybe the problem is that on Fridays that you got Rampage, unless they go to TBS, that would be the only way it would work. That SmackDown's on TBS on Fridays. So Monday night on USA Network and Friday nights on TBS. Then they can really go a lot more edgier if those are the two, because USA Network has let them. They told them, hey, you guys can, but they just don't want to. But now they if you're going to be going on, if the invest or the new bosses are putting pressure to do a little bit more edgier, you might have to. Remember, this is something that USA Network brought up right before Vince McMahon stepped away last year. Let's consider going back to TV 14. So it's been something that's been talked about for a while about WWE at least, going to TV14. Now they're seeing at least for the final hour of Raw doing it. We'll see what happens, man. Let's see. Bobby Roode is hurt. I think he had like a neck fusion or something, like a neck surgery. So he said he had the surgery a few months ago and he's not close to coming back. I think it's kind of similar to what's going on with Randy Orton. So there's that speedy recovery to him. And I think we're done with everything with the news. I think we're trying to do Dynamite. All right, I think we're ready for Dynamite here tonight on a oh no, Thursday for April 19. April 19. What the hell's going on? 2023. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Where's the one that I like to do? There it is. Okay. Let's get started, ladies and gentlemen. Dynamite this week from Pittsburgh, the hometown of Britt Baker and Wardlow. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I wonder if Blaze McCoy was at this show. Anyways, we start off with Jungle Boy, and then he gets interrupted right away by Sammy Guevara, and then he gets interrupted by Darby Allin. They're all just talking about shit like, he continued to just talk about the four pillars and how Darby Allin was like, I was jealous of you, Jungle Boy, because you got hired before me and I was still living in my car and I didn't know what my future was. But then once I got to know you and I came here, I'm like, oh my Lord, I don't want to do nothing with this guy at all. And then like Jungle Boy tells him, well, dude, you hide behind paint. People don't even know who you are. You're hiding something. That's why you're hiding behind a paint. I think Sammy Guevara says the one I can relate to the most is you, Darby Allin, and stuff like that. They're just insulting each other and stuff like that. And then MJF comes out and he pretty much says, why does this keep happening? I just got off talking to Tony Khan and we're doing a tournament, but because there's three of you guys, instead of just doing a triple threat match. And then the winner faces MJF. They're going to do a tournament. Darby Allin, I'm going to do a random raw drawing, and he picks Darby Allin. So Darby Allin gets a bye. So then the first match is Sammy Guevara versus Jungle Boy. And then the winner faces Darby Allin, and then I guess the winner faces MJF. I think they're just trying to milk it because still, when is it, like 28? So they still have about 5 weeks left until Double or Nothing. So they got to really milk it. So that's the thing. That set up to be the main event of the show. Sammy Guevara versus Jungle Boy. In the middle of the show, there's a segment backstage, and we're pretty much MJF tells him, "Hey, you and I can be the main event as long as you just lay down for me and I pin you. Here's a blank check." And so Sammy Guevara signs the blank check, and they agree. And so supposedly MJF is going to help Sammy Guevara with the tournament. So then he just lays down for him at Double or Nothing. So that's the storyline they're going with right now. All right, let's move forward. That was the main event. We got a tag team match. The woman, Jamie Hayter and Britt Baker versus the Outcasts, Ruby Soho and Toni Storm. And it was a good match. Good fun tag team match. At the end, Britt Baker wins. I think she wins by submission. I think she put Ruby Soho in a submission hold. That's how she won the match. All right, then let's move around. Wardlow's backstage, and he says, "I got some help of my own going against Hobbs this week. and he brings Arl Anderson, who used to be the general manager of Cody, or the manager of Cody Rhodes. So now he's back on TV. Now he's with Wardlow, and Wardlow has a match with oh no, okay. Then we have the Elite. The Elite come out to Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks come out to address the Black Wing Combat Club. Bryan Danielson comes up on the Titantron, and he distracts them, and then Claudio Castagnoli, John Moxley, and Wheeler Yuta come out. They attack the Elite to start beating the shit out of them. Then Bryan Danielson comes out. It's 4-on-3. The Black Wing Combat Club beating the shit out of the Elites. Then Don Callis comes out with a chair. But once he realizes everybody's down from the Elites, it's just him, he runs away again. But then he comes back and he brings Takashita, and Takashita helps the Elites, and then the Black Wing Combat Club runs away. Where's Adam Page? I don't know. Is this part of the storyline where Don Callis prefers Takashita help the Elites instead of Adam Page? Who knows? Who knows, ladies and gentlemen? And then what we get the match, Wardlow versus Hobbs for the TNT champion. And freaking everybody's interfering. At one point, Arl Anderson interferes too. At the end, man, freaking Wardlow wins, man. All that shit for Wardlow to win the championship again. Jesus Christ. What was the point of Hobbs winning it, man? What was the fucking point of Hobbs winning it, man? I don't get it. So Wardlow wins it again. So Wardlow's your new TNT champion. Oh my Lord, that was they had him lose it like 3 days after winning it at Revolution, and then like what 3 weeks later he wins it again. Complete waste of time, that title reign with Hobbs. Let's see if they stick around with the Arl Anderson stuff, and he can be like he can be like his mouthpiece, and then Wardlow just has to worry about wrestling. Kind of like Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman used to do. Maybe that would be good for Wardlow. Anyways, let's move along. We get Jay White versus Commander, or Commander, how the fuck you say his name, the Luchador. I thought at times fucking Commander was going to win this match, man. Jay White, man, for his debut match, he really made sure he put over this kid, man. At the end, Jay White won the match, but I was like, damn. I thought Commander was going to win the match, man. I really did at times. And then at the end, what's it say? They had Sean Spears at ringside, and he kept rating the moves, a 10 or whatever. And then at the end, he gives Jay White a 5. So then Juice Robinson comes out. He attacks. He attacked Sean Spears, and then it's a 2-on-1 situation with Juice Robinson and Jay White. But then here comes Ricky Starks to even up the odds, and then Jay White and Juice Robinson just run away. Let's continue to go here. All right, ladies and gentlemen. And then here we go. Adam Cole makes his way to the ring. He has a segment with Chris Jericho. He pretty much tells him how he used to idolize him, and he wanted to be like Chris Jericho. And then he respects him, and then Chris Jericho shakes his hand. And then he tells him, "I actually don't respect you, man. I don't like what you did last week, interrupting my celebration." And he pretty tells him, that saying, you never want to meet your heroes, man. And then he just like, get out of my ring, man. And he's like, and then Adam Cole's like, or what? And then he pushes him. Adam Cole hits him with a right hand. They just start fighting. Then Daniel Garcia comes out. 2-on-1 situation. They're beating the hell out of Adam Cole. They put him in a handcuff him to the ring, the rope. Then Britt Baker comes out. She's begging Jericho and Daniel Garcia to stop. But then the Outcast comes out, Ruby Soho, Saraya, and Toni Storm, and they start beating the shit out of Britt Baker. And then, Jericho gives Saraya a candlestick, and he forces Adam Cole to watch as he's handcuffed to the ring as Soraya beats the hell out of Britt Baker with a kendo stick. This was similar. WWE has done this in the past with Triple H. Randy Orton handcuffed Triple H to the ring as he watched. He made Triple H watch him RKO Stephanie McMahon. And then recently, it was done a few months ago, right? The Judgment Day was holding on to Edge as Rhea Ripley had Beth Phoenix with a concerto. Believe it or not, the WWE ones have been a little bit more edgier. This one was not as edgier. It was just like hitting her with a candlestick, right? And it's a woman, right, with a candlestick. Where like Randy Orton RKO'd Stephanie McMahon. And I mean, Rhea Ripley, even though she was a woman, she RKO'd Beth Phoenix, Concerto Beth Phoenix. So I thought even the WWE ones were more edgier than this one. But I'm pretty sure, it comes from that. They probably copied it, whatever. It's fine. Anyways, let's go to the next. It was a good segment. So it's going to be a huge match, probably a double or nothing between Chris Jericho and Adam Cole. All right, let's move forward. And then we get a match, The Acclaim versus Jake Hager, Angelo Parker, and Matt Mardorno. The stipulation is that if the Jericho Appreciation Society wins this match, The Acclaim has to join them. I mean, it would have been kind of interesting to see what would have happened if The Acclaim would have had to join. But anyways, it doesn't happen, man. The Acclaim wins the match along with Billy Gunn. And then we get the main event. Sammy Guevara versus Jungle Boy. It was a hell of a match. At the end, man, and at some point, he hits him off the top rope and he lands on the table. I always forget there's like a table there at ringside. I'm like the table's over there, right in the corner with the announcers. They have like a ring announce table for like the announcer and everything, like I guess for the ring bell person to sit. And he puts Jungle Boy through it. And then as he's trying to get up, the referee's counting. He's like around 7. Sammy Guevara starts grabbing the referee. He distracts him, and MJF comes out with the dynamite ring, and he hits Jungle Boy. He knocks him out, and the referee he assumes he's still like down from the table, so he just continues to count 8, 9, 10, and that's how he wins the match. Sammy Guevara wins the match by count out. So Sammy Guevara advances at the end. He's hugging with MJF because they made the deal. So I guess the plan is for the same thing next week whenever the match is with Darby Allin. He's going to also help Sammy Guevara beat Darby Allin. So maybe what they're going with is maybe it's going to be Sammy Guevara versus MJF, and MJF thinks he's going to be laying down for him, but then at the end, Sammy Guevara is not going to lay down, and they're just going to have a normal match, a double or nothing. Is that what they're going with? Who knows, man? Who knows what the hell they're going with, ladies and gentlemen? Who knows? We'll see. They still have like 5 weeks, like I said. They still have about 5 weeks. So we'll see what the hell they're doing. But that was pretty much the show. Well, that was a good show. Really good show, The Jericho, Adam Cole situation was good. Blackpool, England continues to fight with the Elites. Now they introduce Takeshita into the fold. Where does this leave Adam Page? The ending, with MJF helping Sammy Guevara, like where exactly they're going with Sammy Guevara and MJF. So some good stuff happened on this show. So good show. But I think that's about it. Until next time. Holla.